Hi, good morning. I'm Jak Teel, your Parks and Recreation Manager here with the City of Cottonwood, and I'll be your host for today's segment of Inside Cottonwood. With me today, I got two of our great young Parks and Recreation professionals with us, and to my right, we've got Travis Wilson, who's our newcomer on the block, and we'll get more into him here in a second. And then across from me, we have Joshua Frewin, who's now been with our department a couple of years. Josh is our Recreation Coordinator 2 for special events and aquatics. Still getting used to saying that. Yes. And Travis is our Recreation Coordinator 2 over sports and fitness. So welcome. Today we're going to talk about a couple of different things. First, we're going to introduce Travis, get to know him a little bit. Then we'll explore some of the programming opportunities we have up and different things we've got down the line with Josh and special events programs. And then we'll talk a little bit about our aquatics, some of the things we have coming up there, and some of the changes you might notice with Parks and Recreation. So first off, good morning, gentlemen. How are you guys?
Doing well, thanks.
Good. Very well. How are you?
Doing really well,
Good.
Thank you. Always a pleasure having you guys. Josh, you and I have got to do this a few times now, so
yes.
Kind of veterans of Inside Cottonwood. And for Travis, this is your first time, so welcome, sir.
Brand new. Glad to be here.
Yeah, and now that you're here in Cottonwood, when did you start?
I started 2 days ago.
2 days ago.
So
yeah, so
got here last week, officially moved in. We moved from the Midwest, so it was a big change. It was nice to be back around mountains.
Yeah.
But other than that, everything's brand new and excited to experience it all.
Yeah, absolutely. And then your first 2 days at the rec center were kind of fun. We had some stuff happen yesterday. A great way to get thrown into the fire, a nice medical emergency, your second day on the job, right? So we were able to figure all that stuff out, and I think you handled it well. And the first day we had to deal with some patrons at the rec center who were kind of upset a little bit, but we got through it all. Aside from those things, what kind of attracted you to Cottonwood and the Parks and Recreation position?
I've always been one, sports has kind of been a focus of my life. Being in a small community, it kind of brought us all together. And it drove me to kind of do my degree in sports management. Being able to do physical activities, sports with kids, it's a way to kind of relieve stress, a way to teach them lessons outside of a classroom where they can come and enjoy it. And it's a great way to kind of get your mind, your body relaxed, and kind of ready for the day.
Absolutely. And you hit on that a little bit, and you've got some good knowledge underneath your belt. You're what I like to call #big brain with your master's degree in what was that degree in again?
In sport management. So I did my undergrad in exercise science, and then got my sports management at Wichita State University.
Awesome. I think you're going to be a really good fit in that job, working at the fitness floor of the recreation center, helping out with all those body mechanics, and then of course the sports side of things. And as we're talking about sports, I know you and I have been discussing our youth basketball a little bit, so you're kind of getting your feet wet into there. But what are some other things you might like to see here in your time with Cottonwood?
I'm really looking forward to seeing kind of different events and programs, just kind of weekend activities that we can get involved with, not necessarily. A lot of times the month-long program is a lot to take in, but as we do kind of weekend activities, it kind of can take a little break out of the week for people and kind of get to see their feel for it, and if there is potential for a long-term program that way.
Yeah, and I know, and Josh can second this too, that was one of the things that really attracted us to you during the interviews, is you really set yourself apart with the different types of activities you want to implement here in Cottonwood and doing those test programs, and you have a lot of intramural activity stuff under your belt from college. Talk a little bit about that.
At Utah State University, I was in charge of, there's about 4 of us that were in charge of the whole program, and we each had specific sports that we were over, and just kind of going along that, and big ones that we didn't have, like tennis, and we tried a ping pong tournament. They weren't good turnouts, but we just wanted to kind of gauge that interest. Spike ball was one that was new at the time, and so we kind of got a great review with that.
Yeah, spike ball's really blown up over the past couple of years. It's a fast-growing sport.
And so that's kind of always been my mindset, is we may not know about it, I may not know about it, especially not as strong in the fitness, but that's what I'm looking forward to learning about. A thing that we did there too was a triathlons, and especially with the runs that we host here in the Parks and Recreation. My intrigue is to get triathlons to prepare the members for those big time runs. Just kind of maybe monthly ones that we can kind of build towards.
Yeah, absolutely. And with the Cottonwood's Vintage Half Marathon, I think that's a great way to get a feeder program going for that. And your opportunities there for the training, I think, fit and align with what we'd like to do with that program. And we all know the Verde Valley has beautiful landscape. And if you're a runner, this is a great place to come. With all the hills around here, you get some great training in. And then when you go down to the Phoenixes or back in the Mid-East where it's nice and flat, you really get some good times and you start feeling good about yourself. So now we've talked a little bit about kind of the professional side. You as a person, what drew you to Cottonwood?
I've grown up in like Utah and southern Alberta in Canada, and mountains has always been a big thing. Kind of, there's always something to do, and being able to be closer to mountains was a big thing, and closer to family. We have some in Utah. My wife's parents live in Tucson, so it was kind of a little bit back home towards home for her, help out there, and just kind of that small. When I came for the interview, and even the last few days, it's that small kind of. It's a great community. Everybody feels welcome, and that's kind of something I want to be a part of, and I want to raise my family kind of that way too.
Absolutely. Cottonwood, I truly believe Cottonwood is a phenomenal place to raise your family. I've chose to stay located here with my son because of all the opportunities Cottonwood has. And I think it's just a great place. Like you said, it's a really close-knit community. Our team is a really close-knit team, and that's something I really enjoy about it. And we're super excited when we offered you the job and then you accepted, and bringing your skills and your experience here onto this team is going to help. I know Josh has done part of that job before in sports, so he's a great resource too, and he knows a little bit about what you're going into. But I think I speak for the whole team when I say we are happy to have you and glad that you chose Cottonwood. There's not very many better places than Cottonwood, so I'm glad you saw it too. So as we wrap up this next segment, one thing I like to ask everybody is, who's your favorite superhero? In the next 30 seconds, explain who your favorite superhero is and why.
I've always liked Spider-Man. He's always kind of the one that comes in at the end and kind of saves the day.
Yeah.
So I always lean to him.
Yeah. So our viewers, if you watched before, you'll know that I am a Thor fan. Thor is the best superhero because he is Thor 365 days out of the year, doesn't wear a costume, you know who he is, and that's just, he's my guy. He's my favorite superhero. But thanks for letting us explore you a little bit and learn a little bit about you. For those of you who haven't got a chance to meet Travis yet, his office is at the Recreation Center, so feel free to come on by. Love to chat with you. Learn a little bit more about him and see what we can do to help you guys. So thanks for watching this segment. As we come back, we're going to turn our attention to Josh and talk about some of those upcoming programming opportunities we have. So make sure you stay tuned.
This is Bruce Morrow, Transportation Manager for Cottonwood Area Transit. Remember, we cover the entire Verde Valley and Sedona. Cottonwood Area Transit has you covered wherever you want to ride in the Verde Valley, all day, every day. Take Cottonwood Area Transit through Clarkdale, Verde Village, and from 26 locations in Cottonwood. With Verde Links, it's a quick and easy trip to Sedona every day. Don't forget our connectors to Camp Verde. Visit cottonwoodaz.gov for Cottonwood Area Transit and take a seat. Let's go ride.
There are people who struggle with addiction and homelessness. Sometimes it may feel like there is nothing we can do to help.
But there is. You can make a tax-deductible donation and help those in need transition away from homelessness.
When you give someone a handout, you could actually be supporting an addiction.
A better life starts with better health, especially for those living in the streets.
Support solutions, not addictions. You can make a difference. Visit cottonwoodcares.org.
Hi, welcome back, Cottonwood. I'm Jak Teel, your Parks and Recreation Manager, and I'm your host here with today's segment of Inside Cottonwood. We just talked to Travis and learned a little bit about him and his experience and welcomed him to Cottonwood. And what we'd like to do now is talk to Josh, who's one of our veterans in our department now. Hard to think that, but with 2 years in You're one of our longest tenured employees.
Yeah.
Parks and Recreation didn't used to be that way. For a long time, we had the same team members, but we've had some retirements recently, and some people take off to bigger and better jobs. So we're all excited for them, but we're really excited for you as well, and all the programming opportunities you guys do to put on. So as we start talking about our programs, what's the next one we have coming up?
Yeah, so obviously we kind of have our typical events that we do throughout the year, and had to make some changes and adaptations this year with some new programs and things like that. So one of them, we do our fall carnival every year. This year we're trying to get into a kind of a drive-through trunk or treat is our first main event. So that's October 31st, Halloween night from 4 to 7 p.m. So what we're going to do is close off Brian Mickelson Parkway, which is the street between the rec center and the library there. We'll have trunks parked all in one lane down the road, and then vehicles can come through. So you can come through with your family, drive through that other lane, get handed candy at each station, still get an opportunity to dress up and see our decorated trunks and all that kind of thing. Go through the line, still get your Halloween candy. And then following that event, we're going to do a spooktacular movie in the park. So at Garrison Park, we're going to set up our big movie screen that we typically use for the movies by the pool and things like that. Show the Haunted Mansion with Eddie Murphy in that park there. So you can either do it as a kind of a drive-in event in park, or get out, sit in the park with your mask on still, spread out throughout the park and watch that movie there.
Yeah, absolutely. And what were some of the things that we need to change for this program to make sure we can put it on and adapt it to kind of what we need during these strange and unique times?
Yeah, exactly. So it's mostly just trying to find a way to still put on a safe Halloween event. We obviously couldn't do a thing with a large crowd gathering in a small area and just getting candy from everyone. So that was our way of adapting. It was just that they can sit in their car, do a drive-through, still get the opportunity to dress up, still get the opportunity to work with local businesses and different departments in the city to set up their trunks, to partner with the kids and give out the candy, and just help our community still have an event. And then the movie is just kind of a bonus on top of that for something else fun to do that night.
Absolutely. And anybody who's been around me within Parks and Recreation, I think our team does a really good job about this. Kids always come first. Parks and Recreation is an avenue for children, I believe. We also do a lot of adult programming and other programming, but at the heart of Parks and Recreation, I think we focus on the kids. And that was one of the really important factors of making sure we can get this program to go. Nobody's in the office as we're exploring the back end of these things and trying to figure out and move and transition our programs. But I know a lot of work went into coming up with this idea. We met with the OTA, the Old Town Association, to kind of see what they were doing, how we can help supplement, how we can help market their program, and how they could reciprocate that for us. So originally we still were trying to do something in Old Town, and then as we got further into those discussions, that's where the adaptation came from, and we had to figure out a different idea and a different approach to this program. But I'm really proud of the one you put together. I think it's going to be great. And Mr. Corbin, you called me out last night at the council meeting. If you're watching tonight, not only is Parks and Recreation going to have quantity there with multiple vehicles, we're going to have quality. So make sure that you're stepping up your game and you're coming too, sir, because we're going to show up and we're going to show out. Last year, the library took home the trophy, and they did a remarkable job. I do a really good job of writing checks that I ask our team to cash, and last year we kind of fell short with that one. The library did a great job showing us up, but 2 years in a row is not going to happen. So if you're watching this, Parks and Recreation is coming. And this isn't just something that we're offering for the city departments, is it?
No, correct. So we're partnering with a lot of local businesses as well as still looking for others that want to come and put a trunk into our event. You can go to our Cottonwood Parks and Recreation Facebook page, and we have all the information there for the event, as well as if you're interested in putting a trunk in, whether you're a local business, nonprofit, even just a family that wants to participate and do that. You can fill out that registration form or call me at the Recreation Center number there, which is 928-639-3200, and I will get you set up with a spot for a trunk, and we'd love to partner with any business or family that wants to do that as well.
Yeah, and we've got, you said Walmart is putting in a spot. We've got Sparklight putting in a spot.
Definitely.
I know Jennifer Griffin, the State Farm office here in town, sponsored us with a check. That's phenomenal. And then we had a couple convenience stores actually located in Clarkdale in the county who helped sponsor this event, and the #1 food store and the Quick Country store. So we explore lots of opportunities with the community. Dead Horse Ranch State Park's putting in one too, I hear.
Yep, so they're doing one. So we have all those local businesses doing it with us as well, and then that's on top of like the police department, fire department, and those city departments that are going to participate as well. So should be a great event and lots of good turnout, good support for our community.
Absolutely. I think it's something Parks and Recreation is oftentimes the connector between the city government and the community, and I think this is one way where we strengthen that bond. I think our department and you specifically have done a great job bringing those people in. So one last time as we wrap up that program, what time and what date does that happen?
So that's October 31st, Halloween night, from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. is when you can drive on through, and then our movie in the park will begin right at the conclusion of that drive-through trunk or treat, and so that's at Garrison Park, which is just off that Brian Mickelson Drive as you come through near the County Health Building, near the Recreation Center in there, and park and check out the movie after you've driven through and getting your candy.
Yeah, and then we'll be releasing a public service announcement about that traffic control plan to let people know that that street's going to be closed, specifically turning that right coming off of Mingus Avenue onto Brian Mickelson Parkway. We'll want to make sure that the public is informed that that is not going to be an option from 3 p.m. to 8 p.m. that night. And then also from 6th Street, we're going to have it limited to just one-way traffic for those trunk-or-treaters with a speed limit posted at 5 miles per hour. So that way our trunk-or-treaters need to stay in their vehicle at all time, and then our trunk hosts will walk up and bring those candies to you. And I think we're partnering with a cool little thing that we'll keep secret till that night. But I think we've got a really cool opportunity to make sure that we build those connections and do it in a safe, fun way. So Josh, real quickly as we wrap up the talk on our trunk or treat, what are some other programs you have lined up? We're partnering with the library on something.
Yeah, so another thing we're doing, partnering with both the Cottonwood and Camp Verde Library to put together, we're going to call it the Blue Shell Bash, a Mario Kart little tournament, fun get-together thing for kids, teens, everyone of all ages that loves to play some Mario Kart. So we're going to do that November 13th and 14th at both partnering with the Camp Verde Library and the Cottonwood Library, as well as Cottonwood Parks and Recreation, to put that on. We'll have more information out on that soon, so keep checking both the Cottonwood Parks and Rec Facebook page as well as the Cottonwood Library Facebook page, and we'll have lots more details and how to sign up and things like that coming out soon for that. But be practicing your kart skills and be ready.
I'm calling Wario right now. It's my character, and we're gonna go, and I'm gonna start throwing turtle shells all over the place. And my
Princess
banana
Peach
dropping skills, yeah, my banana dropping skills are next level. So watch out. So once we get through November, we had Walking on Main lined up. We had to postpone that one this year, but we're still looking forward to a lot of our Christmas events. So in about a minute, tell us what we've got going on. Yeah,
so we'll partner with our first Christmas event we really do is the Angel Tree. So we set that up in the Rec Center lobby. You can come grab, you'll get a kid's name or information about that kid and some things that they need, can give them some presents and help them out at Christmas time. It's a great program. Then we do our Toys for Tots program. That's the Friday before Christmas, and we'll have lots more information about that as well for kids and families interested in that, and the fire department and lots of other community members play a big role in that. And then right after that will be our New Year's Eve program that we're hoping to do December 31st to January 1st, New Year's Eve program at the Rec Center. That last year was our first year doing it there at the Rec Center with our balloon drop, and it was a lot of fun. So hope to do that again.
At the conclusions of last year's event, we did our balloon drop. It went great. We came up with an idea this year to kind of tie into the city theme. What do we got lined up for that balloon drop this year?
So we're doing, making it kind of our city theme, which is the heart of Arizona wine country, making it kind of a grape drop from different colored balloons down from there, and really partnering with those wineries in the community and putting something together as making it a grape drop type of event, sort of to the apple drop in New York and those similar things.
Yeah, and when we talk about grape drops, we're not talking real grapes. As fun as that would be, it would create a nasty mess. So we're going to be just getting a bunch of purple colored balloon this year. But we're looking forward to doing that, excited to be able to put that on. And now that we've had an opportunity to discuss some of those programs we've got coming up, we're going to take a break here. And when we come back, we're going to talk about aquatics and some of the fun things we have up in aquatics and some of the fun, neat changes we have with Cottonwood Parks and Recreation. So make sure you tune back in here in a couple minutes, and we'll see you right back.
This is Bruce Morrow, Transportation Manager for Cottonwood Area Transit. Remember, we cover the entire Verde Valley and Sedona. Cottonwood Area Transit has you covered wherever you want to ride in the Verde Valley, all day, every day. Take Cottonwood Area Transit through Clarkdale, Verde Village, and from 26 locations in Cottonwood. With Verde Links, it's a quick and easy trip to Sedona every day. Don't forget our connectors to Camp Verde. Visit cottonwoodaz.gov for Cottonwood Area Transit and take a seat. Let's go ride.
There are people who struggle with addiction and homelessness. Sometimes it may feel like there is nothing we can do to help.
But there is. You can make a tax-deductible donation and help those in need transition away from homelessness.
When you give someone a handout, you could actually be supporting an addiction.
A better life starts with better health, especially for those living in the streets.
Support solutions, not addictions. You can make a difference. Visit cottonwoodcares.org.
Welcome back, Cottonwood. Jak Teel here, City of Cottonwood Parks and Recreation Manager, and your host for Inside Cottonwood. So far we've explored a little bit about Travis's history. We've talked to Josh about some of the programs we're going on, and in this section we're going to talk a little bit about the aquatics and then some fun things we have going on in Parks and Recreation. So Josh, let's focus on aquatics. So different year than normal, right? Typically
Yes.
Our outdoor pool would open up the ending of May, and then we'd run through early September, right? And this year we've had some changes. So walk us through those changes. What have we been able to do in that pool? And more importantly, what has been the community response to that?
Yeah, definitely. It's been a strange summer trying to work with aquatics in the pool. So for the outdoor pool, we were able to get it open probably mid-June to get the outdoor pool open this year, and we've kept it open this whole time. So it's still open even today. We were able to partner with Mingus, their swim team, and help them out a lot, and they're helping us out a lot as well in different ways. So we're currently doing lap swim and water aerobics classes in the outdoor pool still. So you can reserve a lap lane for a half hour anywhere between 10 a.m. all the way till 7 p.m. Weekdays, and then 11 to 6 on weekends. And we've had a great turnout with that. People have really been thrilled that they've been able to still come and get their lap swim times in and get a lane to themselves, different things like that. And then we do water aerobics classes from noon to 1 every day at the outdoor pool. And that class has been full and safe and socially distanced as well, but they've had a full class every time and really enjoyed it. We've had great outreach from people not only in Cottonwood but Sedona, Camp Verde area as well, of just so glad that we were able to have the pool and keep the pool open this whole time.
Yeah, I think it's been a really great asset and resource for our community members, and certainly well used. Trying to get lap swim in there during the day is sometimes a difficult task, and that's been a great response. And as we continue to get a little cooler temperature, some of those people drop off, but we did raise the temperature. It was at 78, and we raised it to 81, correct?
Yeah.
So we kind of raised it up a little bit for everybody. Now I know competitive swim teams typically like the water a little cooler. Usually they're around 76 degrees, so it was about striking that balance between what our swim team can still get in there and use versus what our community needs. So I was really happy that we were able to do that. And speaking of the swim team, they're in there a lot, quite often too. What times do they use the pool throughout the day?
Yeah, so the Mingus swim team does their practices from 3 to 5 p.m. each day during the week. They've been able to hold some meets in there that they've done virtually this year. So they've competed, done their swim times, timed everything with an AIA official in there, and then compared their times with schools like Flagstaff, Bradshaw Mountain, some of those, and done their meets that way this year a little bit. And then we've had the opportunity that October 30th and 31st, they're going to actually hold a state qualifying meet at the pool with some of those other schools coming there. We're doing some restrictions in place, like wearing the mask as they enter, temp checks, only allowed to bring one spectator kind of per swimmer, things like that, to keep it a safe, smaller event. But it's just great to partner with them and partner with the community of Cottonwood, that people will be coming to us and able to compete and hold a state qualifying meet like that.
So who certifies this event if it's a state qualifying meet?
So that'll be the AIA, which the High School Athletic Association will be there certifying that.
Yeah, so we have to follow all their rules and regulations, I'm sure. And I know some of the rules that they have is that every athletic department has to test their kids before practice. So before they ever even get on a bus, they have to test their kids and do screening. So they'll be asking them questions. They take temperatures, things like that to make sure everybody's safe. And then we also double up on our end. If you're a spectator coming into our facility, we make sure we do those same things where we're doing those screening checks. It's going to be socially distant on the deck space. The high school is doing a really great job managing their program and keeping it safe and fun for everybody. But this was really important to me because when Coach Gretchen called me with this, we didn't have any intention of doing this program, did we?
No, not at all.
They really just called us and said, hey, you know, we have to do a Northern Arizona Region Championship and nobody's able to do it. So we always try to be business friendly and we try to be open. We try to find the yes. So they didn't get exactly what they wanted. We had to change some things, but it was important that we got them into the pool. And it's going to happen on the Friday and Saturday?
Yeah, so it's October 30th and 31st. So one of the ways that we kind of split it up to be little smaller groups is having the boys one day and girls the other day, just in order to keep our deck space numbers down and things like that.
And then do you remember the times on that program?
I believe it's the 10 to noon on the Friday, and then they're doing 8 to 10 on the Saturday, I believe, but we'll update that.
Yeah, we'll make sure to get that out there on our website, which brings me into the next point. We got some exciting news. If you've ever had an opportunity to use our website, I would encourage you to go back on there now, cottonwoodaz.gov, and then under departments, you'll click on the Parks and Recreation tab, and we got a fresh, updated look on it, and we've got some new navigation tools on there. One of the things I'm most proud of is, I think you guys all know, and hopefully the community members who I've dealt with know, I'm big on transparency, and I want to make sure that if people have something or they want to tell us something, they have lots of different opportunities to do that. So here on our website, if you click on it, there's a Connect With Us tab, and if you just click on that link, that's going to take you to a new page. It's not finished being. You'll have to deal with just mine, so I apologize about that. But our team has been working on bios. Shout out to Travis and making sure Kayla knows. Travis got his bio to me first. He put that in his email, and it's really well done. All of our bios, you guys did a great job explaining who you are, what your role is with the organization, so that way the community knows who to reach out to. But if you click on that Connect With Us tab, there's a hyperlink that says here. Always feel free to hop on there, leave us a comment, suggestion, let us know how we're doing as a department or maybe what you need. We always want to hear your feedback. And always feel free to swing by the Recreation Center. Well, gentlemen, we got about 30 seconds to wrap this up. Is there anything else you guys would like to say to the community before we get them on their way?
Come by the Rec Center, we're open. Come to the outdoor pool, get some lap swimming in, water aerobics classes, and we'd love to see everyone back.
Absolutely. Travis?
Just as Jack said, we love to get feedback to improve for you guys as community members. So let us know, and I would love to get to know as many people as I can to build those relationships. So feel free to stop by.
Absolutely. You guys heard it here. Thank you so much. It's been my pleasure. Jak Teel, the Parks and Recreation Manager here with the City of Cottonwood, and this has been another segment of Inside Cottonwood. Have a great day.